We are eco-friendly.
Friends with
environmental
benefits.
So the idea behind eco-friendly was to develop an app that would help consumers cut down on their energy consumption. The inspiration behind this was Forest, an app that ranks people against their friends based on the amount of time they've spent studying. We would combine this with the existing smart meter technology that's currently being rolled out across the UK by the government. Prizes would also be introduced to incentivise those who might be less competitive and to avoid the use of the app as a way to compete to see who can use the most electricity. The prizes would be awarded to individuals and local communities who are performing particularly well and would hopefully further drive down emissions as a result of peer pressure and community spirit. These prizes would be eco-friendly, so for example, rather than having a holiday abroad, which would nullify the effects of the emissions reduction, they might be partnerships with local organisations such as the National Trust, discounts on sustainable products, or partnerships with local restaurants.
The main motive behind our idea is to incentivise consumers to cut down on their energy usage. We think the government over the last decade or so has really promoted reducing energy consumption and using renewable energy sources. And there's been a lot of education and information about it, but ultimately, for the individual consumer, there's no direct incentive for them in the short term, except for a small financial benefit. So we think by making a leaderboard with prizes, it will really get the consumer on board. We think that looking at consumers in a rational way, they act quite selfishly. They are more likely to do something that benefits themselves and their household than something that benefits the whole country and something that they won't personally see an immediate benefit from. That's why we think competing with neighbours is a really good idea, because it hones in on the natural instinct of humans to compete with each other. The idea of the leaderboard was inspired by the app Forest, and I use this app a lot personally in my A-levels, and I found that even when I didn't want to revise, if my friends were beating me on the leaderboard, having done, say, 1 more hour of revision, it really motivated me to work more. So ultimately, we think that our app will do the same thing and really motivate people to beat their neighbours and get involved with saving energy.
In order for our app to be viable, we need to combat the issue of funding, and we've come up with 2 solutions to help solve this issue. So the preferred solution is to try and get the government on board. So over the past 10 years, the government really been trying to back projects such as this. So hopefully, with some persuading, we'd be able to try and get some government funding. However, we know that this solution cannot be certainly achieved. So instead, we've come up with an alternative of using banner ads at the bottom of the app to help fund our app. We also have the issue of trying to get higher income households on board. In the past, projects such as this have been successful with the majority of households. However, there have been issues where higher income families have been trying to outspend their neighbours in regards to using energy, which is a massive negative and something we do not want to promote at all. Okay. In order to combat this issue, we've decided to introduce prizes. So we hope to establish links with eco companies that would be able to provide discounts or trips away on an environmentally friendly trip. We hope this would help promote the idea to these higher income companies to get on board with our idea.
So what we're going to do in the future, the goal moving forward is to develop an additional features to the app. These include breaking down the smart meter so we know which parts are consuming the most energy. Currently you see it as a whole and you can't give the individual breakdowns. So we believe in the future this will be more beneficial as the customers can see which appliances are consuming the most energy, therefore where they need to cut down. Another issue is the current appliances, e.g. fridge, may need to be the life cycle of the smart meter is shorter than the life cycle of the fridge. Therefore, instead of replacing the fridge each year or whenever it needs to be changed, if we use an external device for the smart meter, this will be a lot better than replacing the fridge each year, saving materials, costs, pollution, etc., etc.
We are eco-friendly.
Friends with
environmental
benefits.
Let me just read the
in my personal... Wait, okay, stop.
an app that helps oh my god, I actually can't.
We all have
National Trust. Such as the National Trust. I need to do that again.
So in past,
have a bit of fun with it.
So please don't make me laugh.
Issue of... Start again.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Should I just start talking?
Yes.
It's not a certain solution. Why are you looking over there?
Is to... I've fucked up.
Tell me about eco-friendly.
So
Your thing is in the way.
Right, come on.